Hello, welcome to Actual Play Five Fires. We are playing tonight with the creator, Quinn Murphy, right above me. Pew pew! I'm Sean Nittner. I use he, him pronouns. You can find me everywhere at Sean Nittner. My hair is especially floppy today. That's very exciting. I'm real excited to play this game. I've heard about it for a couple of years, and I knew Quinn was making it, and we started talking a few months back. And now here we are, about to play it with all of you. So thanks everybody for hanging out with us in chat, and also thanks for everyone for being patient. If there's any weird technical hiccups, that is not on Quinn, that is on me. Today has been a bit bonkers for me, so I'm catching up. As always, all of our funds, everything we raise on the channel is split between Black Lives Matter and the Trans Legal Defense Fund. So if you give us cheers, if you give us subs, if you send money our way, I don't care, via pigeon, that's where that money will get forwarded. If you want to send money directly to those folks so that Twitch is not taking their cut, that is cool too. I will put a link to donate in chat. And if you are not in a place to give financial aid, but you want to be active in other ways, that's fantastic too. I'll put some links to things that you can do in that are non-financial, and anything you can do help will be great. Um, that's me. How about you, Mendez? What's up with you?
It's good. I'm James Mendez Hodes. I use he, him pronouns. My Twitter handle is Lula Vampiro. I'm a writer and cultural consultant working mostly in analog gaming, and Five Fires is my favorite game that isn't out yet. So
Yes.
no pressure, Quinn. Uh, yeah. Uh, Diana was good.
Olas, I go by Diana Moon online. I use she, her pronouns. I do also cultural consulting and writing and editing all over the place from video games to tabletop. And I'm excited with Five Fires because, well, Quinn made it, and Quinn is an awesome GMer and writer. And yeah, I might not be the biggest hip hop fan, but I love at least like the hip hop I grew up with as a kid and everything. And I'm excited to see what kind of creativeness anarchy we can do. And what about you, Queen?
Hey, I'm Quinn Murphy, he, him. Um, I getting Five Fires is kind of a thing I've been working on here and there for a long time. I'm excited to just be sort of playing and get back into it and getting some sort of um, form for our people experience. This is just uh, breaking it down. It's Five Fires is a game about art, where the art happens to be specifically hip hop. This, you know, kind of uh, urban rooted, often marginalized and criminalized sort of art form that still sort of like grows and like, I mean, if we're going to be honest, it's just taken over the world, right? In the best way. So this is this art that's grown like the strongest vine, um, and sort of influenced everything. And sort of, I like to really, it's called Five Fires, and the fires are the different elements of hip hop: b-boying, emceeing, um, graph writing, breaking, and the last element is knowledge of self, which is actually represented by us playing in the game. Um, uh, but sort of is the Five Fires is sort of about people sort of kind of trying to solve their problems, and do live kind of like normal lives that are full of problems, and that problems in their life are going to create stress, and then that stress becomes the fuel for their art. And then there will be we won't actually have to perform or make graffiti, but like there are sort of mechanics for like kind of to simulate the art making process and then what it does for the creator and the listener. Um, I don't know. All that stuff sounds really lofty, but I'm just excited to sort of start. And like the first session is just, uh, you know, creating city and creating our crew, and then we'll get into their problems and everything.
Sounds rad. I don't think. I mean, it sounds lofty. It also sounds really cool, like things I want to do. So it sounds lofty, but not unapproachable or not
Yeah.
distant.
Now, lofty but not impossible.
Yeah. Oh, hey, look how awesome we are. We already have spammers. Check that out. Bye.
Oh, we do.
Yeah,
I respect the hustle.
yeah,
Ooh, hey,
exactly.
wait. I also would have became famous. Is this?
Let's block you, my friend, and we'll block you, my friend. I mean, at least they're not rude. They're just like, hey, do you want to buy followers? There
Yeah, that's
we
true.
go.
Sure.
Excellent.
I might have to look
Where
them up
is-
later because I need those big follower
You need
numbers.
them big followers? Well, H
Yeah.
Butterfly 12348. I'm talking to you.
Talking to you from behind a block.
Yeah, exactly. All
At least
right.
the other bot had samurai in their name.
Yeah, that was cool.
I mean, that's pretty
Yeah.
clever.
KN Samurai something something something.
Wait, you're looking at the Twitch chat?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gone
Oh,
now.
okay.
Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry. They literally just said click here to like buy buy followers, subs, whatever.
Okay.
So, but that's telling
The
you something.
Twitch are like for life, because
What's that?
I'd like followers just for like my life,
Yeah. Yeah.
just in general.
Everybody
just people,
needs,
just
like,
people to like
an
walk.
entourage. You
Just
should
Yeah,
really
like I'm
out.
like a Roman
apart.
senator, and like these are my clientes following me
Yeah.
Oh my
around,
God.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, just people to awkwardly like.
Yeah.
follow
Don't block
and
that
observe your
guy.
life.
If he shows up, I want. Yeah, we'll talk.
Awesome. Do we want to do anything else, or we want to get started?
Yeah, no, let's jump into it. I'm gonna flip up.
Okay.
Nope, that's not what I wanted to flip to. That was my Twitter page. Let's flip to there we go. There we go. Okay, there's roll 20. So what are the steps that we go through to make the city?
Okay. So we're going to take a trip. We first need to figure out where we're going to take place and what city this is going to be at. And so we're going to define the city. We're going to take 3 trips. And each one will sort of define different parts loosely of the city. And then we'll go to making a crew. So as the instructions say here, I will press the take a trip button to roll the dice here. So we'll, there's not a really great way to like pull the dice out of here, but I can track these dice, or I mean, I guess maybe put them in the chat, which dice you're going to take, but we're going to use this pool of dice, and we're going to use it to select elements. So I will go to distinctions here.
Right, because I cannot help but pattern match. We have 3 1s, 3 2s, 2 3s, a 4, 2 5s, and 3 6s. And I'll keep track of those as well as we go through.
Okay. Cool. So basically, we're looking at sort of distinctions, what elements of each of the neighborhoods are kind of distinct. We have crime, so sort of what kind of level of nonviolent or violent crimes are going on in the neighborhood, if that's what it's notable for, or if it's notable for its corruption, sort of basically institutional crime. Right.
I was gonna say, I don't think those things are different.
It's just crime that people get paid a lot more for.
Yeah.
And
crime where you can't
culture.
run after the guy doing it. So you can't figure
Right.
out where they are.
Exactly. Culture is, kind of for our purposes, a lot of times will be, connection to sort of hip hop culture, but just art and stuff in general, and then wealth, money, where the sort of money and stuff in the city is. And we're going to, each of these 5 spots represents a place on the city, like a different like neighborhood or district in the city. And so we're going to go to each one, and we'll go in turn to each of them, and somebody can pick a die and then say, okay, like assign it to, say neighborhood, 2 has, I'll pick a 2. I'll pick the 2 die and put it on neighborhood 2 and say that their distinction is crime, and we'll put 3 dots in crime.
Got it.
So do you want to just start at the top with Sean? Well, we'll just sort of keep our same order.
Yeah, that sounds good. So I know you just said this, but to make sure that I processed it, I'm gonna grab one of these dice. Let's say I want to pick culture. I'm gonna take one of the
Yep.
ones. We got 3 of them, and I can drop it into any of these any of these 5 locations, and then that will mean we'll have 3 dots of culture. And will I then define what that means, like what kind of culture that is, or am I just dropping it in there so we designate that that's what that has?
Once you drop it in, you can talk about like what that means, right? There's like a little bit of a fleshing in, sort of like, hey, why is this a wealthy neighborhood, or what's a feature of this? And we'll go into like landmarks and some problems too. But every time we sort of drop something in, you can also add some detail, and we can sort of, we can also talk about it. When you're placing, you get final say.
Got it.
On it, but we can all sort of go, oh, what about this thing, and sort of tweak and add on.
Awesome. Cool. Well, I want to make shit. So I'm gonna throw and we got lots of ones, so I don't feel bad about this. So I'm gonna put, and at the moment these locations are nebulous. Like they don't work. Location 1 through 5 doesn't mean anything yet until we like start defining them, right? That they're all okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's put one of our 3 ones. I'll mark it as like Sean used a 1 in Roll20. Let's put one of those ones in location number 2, upper left hand one.
Okay. And that's the one for culture, right?
Yeah. So it's 3 dots of culture.
Yeah. And where'd you put it?
I noticed the dice you can technically drag and drop. Does that actually literally allow you to drag a dice number somewhere?
Yeah, it doesn't pull it out of the list, but if we want to sort of show it.
It did do it though. Like when I dragged it, it like
didn't leave the list.
It didn't leave the list, but
but it will come on screen. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So maybe we can use that as our as part of the what we're showing here.
That way we can kind of compare it at least, keep track of it. Yeah. So cool. All right. So I got 3 dots of culture. I want like a skater rink / a skater rink / impromptu music festival space where like a lot of skating happens and also a lot of music happens, permitted and or not. Sometimes permitted, sometimes not. I think it's a place that's got a chain link fence around it, and it's like technically like can be closed off, but it's so like it's like trivially easy to break into, because like hopping a fence is nothing at all, and it's supposedly open during the day as a skate park, but there are a lot of bands that perform like up on top of like on the half pipes. There's like kind of it extends out, and there's sort of a stage there, and getting power to it and getting performances that are again either permitted like as part of like a day event or not, they just happen at night, is like fairly easy to get easy enough that it happens on the regular, and yeah, so it's a skate park and like a music scene.
Okay,
is that enough detail, or is that?
Yeah, that's and so the next phase is actually going to be landmarks in specific.
Okay.
But it's good to like we can start thinking about some of this stuff now. We don't have to only restrict it, but I think loosely we can think. Okay, so there's like some aspects of like there's music culture and like also sort of skater culture sort of intersecting
Yes.
in this neighborhood? Okay, awesome.
And Andy just told me that my volume is low, so I will look at that. Thank you, Andy. I did
Okay.
not know that.
Cool. And so then we'll pass it on.
All right, who's next? Me?
Yes, you're next.
Okay, cool. I also want to pick a culture neighborhood, but I want it to be really different from Sean's.
That sounds smart.
Right, because yeah.
Cool. So where are you going to put it? Are you going to put it near it? Or are you going to put it like?
No, I'm going to put it on the other side.
Okay, nice.
So, hello from the number 5, I guess.
Mhm.
All right, so we got 3 dots of another 3 dots of culture in neighborhood 5, and I'm gonna say
3 is 3 dots of
three,
wealth.
three, three. Yeah,
Oh, that's
3 is
wealth?
3 dots of
Oh,
wealth.
whoops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoops.
One is
do I
the 3
undo
dots of
that?
culture.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or you could, or it could be, or if you have a 5, it could be culture and wealth, or a 6 could be culture and crime.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna throw a 1.
Okay, in 5.
So we've got like this thing which is like skater culture and everything. So 1 on the other side. So this is a neighborhood with a lot of actually no, you know what? This would make sense for culture and wealth. Which number is that?
A 5.
That is 5.
It's a 5. Okay.
And we have
so
2 of those, yeah.
okay, so this is going to be a theater district. So this would be the kind of place you'd see like a opera house, symphony, like a symphony hall, that kind of thing. Like a lot of like high culture that's inaccessible to most people because it's really expensive and prohibitive to get in.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, and I don't want to over define it because that's got to leave stuff for landmarks. But yeah, Diana.
I want to do culture and crime, so I'm going to take a 6, and we'll put it in number 4. And it's basically like it's like it's culture, it's fashion culture, it's crime because it's all knockoffs. So it's like that one
like
district.
Forever 21.
Kind of, yeah, but like also like the one time that my mom and I went to New York, it's that little area where you go through like all the different like street vendors.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's all very high quality, like, oh, this came from the last fashion runway, but you can only get it for $20 kind of thing. So it's that kind of like, and maybe there's some money laundering going on, you never know, because like, why could you get this practically looking like new Louis Vuitton for only $30?
Right. But even though it's a Louis Vuitton, right? Like
Yeah.
it still looks like it, and it's still really, really cheap for
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
quality. Awesome.
People like see you go by whispering, "Oh, it has 3 stripes. That means it's fake."
Yeah.
Like that one episode of Atlanta with the jersey.
Yeah, I worked at an eBay reseller back in high school, and I learned a lot on how to spot like high designer fakes and how good they can be. But
Yeah.
like fun fact, for Louis Vuittons, you'll never have the logo break into a seam. It'll always be a clean seam. The logo will never be broken into it.
Oh.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, that's amazing.
Because
I like this.
Yeah. Sorry. I thought
No. Keep going. No.
I was just thinking because I think when you make knockoffs, like you want it to look enough like the original that people will buy it and think that it's the original, but different enough that if you get sued, you can claim it was a different product, right? Like it's a tightrope to balance of I dig it. Like it's cool.
Like just enough copyright infringement to do it. Cool. So then I will go here, And if it's not clear, I don't know if I explicitly explained it, but like we're going to each round, we're going to do one of the areas of the city. So everyone, each one will be populated. I am gonna. I'm gonna get some corruption up in here.
Fair.
And it just feels logical to get some corruption in the center, and I think it's gonna be. Thanks for tracking that, Sean.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just think like all the stuff that we've established so far is kind of working at the behest of like very dodgy kind of building permit like commissioners and inspectors and stuff like that. And so like this stuff happens or doesn't happen depending on who you're giving money to, or not giving money to. And sometimes there's like cases of like double dipping from different departments, like you're getting hit from like one department and the other department, and you're trying to like balance both of them against each other and pay them off. It can get really ridiculous at times. And then we got one more, and we just we'll go around the thing to Sean.
All right. I will do. We don't have any crime. Let's get some crime time in here. I'm gonna match that up because I think the best way to hide corruption is with crime. So I'm gonna drop some of that in there because when you have crime going on, then it's a really good reason for all kinds of bullshit bureaucracy also all kinds of bullshit bureaucracy that like justifies the corruption. So I think we have a lot of vandalism and breaking.
So and this is going in.
Yeah, it's gonna go in the same. It's gonna go in the same location. It's gonna go.
Oh no, we want to hit a new location each.
Oh, cool, excellent. Then we'll put it in.
Each turn. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that's all good. We'll put it in location 3. So I think this is non-violent crime. It's vandalism. It's breaking and entering. It's it's what we might depending on the camera angle is seen as like good time hooliganry and depending on their perspective is seen as like a menace to to lawful society or whatnot. But yeah, I think this is
okay. Awesome. Cool. So now we've got these different like we know sort of the rough texture of each of the sort of sections of the city. So then the next trip we're going to make is we're going to see some landmarks. And so, basically we're going to go and, we're going to keep with a crime culture, wealth, corruption. The note here is that you don't have to pick the same one, like in a crime or in like a culture section. You don't have to pick a culture landmark. You could pick a wealth landmark or a corruption thing to go in there. These are just sort of distinctions for the landmarks. And so we've got this table. If you scroll down there, you'll be able to see it for the different landmarks, for what the dice will translate. So like if you pick up a 1 for crime, that will be a gang headquarters.
Got it.
And then you can sort of describe what the landmark is, and then we'll sort of come up with a name for it. And then I'll write it down in the on the sheet under landmarks. And then for this round, we'll start with Mendez first.
All right, so I pick a die, and then
Pick one of those 4 categories,
okay,
and
so I can
then
be, so it
and
can
then
be, so any
it can
die
be
can
and
go
it can
to
be
any
in
category.
right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Um, what would a stadium be?
Hmm?
What would a stadium be?
Um,
I'd want to say culture.
yeah, culture, and you could, I mean, roughly. I mean, I think this could be a popular restaurant hangout, like it's a big venue.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
There's a 4.
There is
Um,
not a 4, I don't think,
oh, there is
unfortunately.
not. Oh, you
Yeah,
Yeah,
used it.
yeah.
Okay.
I used the oh man, I used the solo 4.
you used the
Oh, no
only
worries.
So here's where it
4.
gets here's where it gets tricky.
Yeah,
Hard
Yeah.
you
constraints.
got everything besides 4, I
Mhm.
think, left.
Okay, cool. I think there is a gang headquarters right in the most corrupt neighborhood.
Nice.
Ooh,
Some old school
nice.
like Godfather.
So what would you say the gang is? We like know what the gang is?
Uh, I'm not. That's a good question. I think I think I had to think about it. Um, no, actually, no. I know what it is. It's our version of the Gramercy Riffs.
Tell me
Mm,
more,
Uh,
because I'm not.
the
uh,
Gramercy Riffs were the they were the in the movie version, not the book. The book was very very serious, but in the movie version of the Warriors, the Gramercy Riffs were a gang who were they wore glittering gowns like they all dressed like
mm,
Jabari Weathers, um, and
I found
they were
that.
these beautiful gowns, and they all knew kung fu and were armed with hockey sticks. And
wow.
they were the gang of the like the dude who gets shot in the beginning. Um, so they are they're extremely well dressed, but in like a flamboyant, like colorful offbeat kind of way. Um,
Mm.
they they match the aesthetic of the area by uh opposing the aesthetic. They're like a mirror to it.
Well, here's the thing that I was thinking of when you're talking about that. I'm thinking of like when I think of the corruption in this area, it's like old money, right?
Yeah.
And like kind of like old money blue bloods, but then and sort of as an act of sort of like resistance, rebellion, but also sort of taking the contour of the area. Maybe the gang is called like the Red Bloods,
Oh yeah, I like
like or
that.
something like, and then sort of like offset from that.
Yeah,
You want to try that
let's say the
or
red
so,
veins.
the Red Veins? Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
Love it.
Red Veins HQ.
there's already a red bloods gang technically.
Is there? Oh well, yeah. I
Well,
mean,
the
yeah,
blood, you
that's true.
know, they probably have like
Yeah, yeah,
copyright lawyers and stuff now. We got to
yeah,
watch
yeah,
out.
yeah, 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 yeah. Fair, fair, fair. I actually had not been thinking about that. Yeah, but I should have. Um, and cool, awesome.
I think Diana
And
is next.
yep, yep. Sorry, I was fussing with the text.
No problem. I was just thinking, yeah, I'll take the other five. And I think it just makes sense that like, you have a skate park, um, and there's a graffiti permission wall. And it's not necessarily a wall, it's like the skate park, like part of the skate park is like one of those bowl areas.
Hmm.
So it's just covered like everywhere. And it's kind of one of those like nothing ever gets washed off. Like as soon as like the area is completely covered in graffiti, you just start going over it
Sure. Yeah.
and everything kind of thing. and no one gets pissed about it because it's like, oh, okay, it's just like a rite of passage, like there's layers of layers, kind of thing.
Uh,
So there isn't too much beefing where somebody like puts their tag and then someone writes over their tag like the
Only if there's like blank space left, and
yeah
they're like,
yeah
yo, you had that spot there, what the hell,
yeah.
like, kind of thing. So
awesome. Cool. So me. I will take and we have so many I think I'm gonna take one of these threes and I'm gonna make
Out
in
of
the
out of ones, fours, and fives.
yeah. I'm gonna use. I'm gonna make a 5-star restaurant here. Now, what were we saying was going on with here with the culture and wealth? Was this the? This wasn't the.
In neighborhood 5.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that I was thinking of that as like a theater district.
Okay, theater district. So perfect. So like in there is like some so this is the restaurant where like the most profound like crooked deals get made. Like this is like the kind of like
Nice.
this is where like this is where you go to like eat and dine when you like are going to like displace like thousands
This is
on
the
and
room
like
where it
make money
happens.
from your place. Right. Yeah, this is the
Yeah.
room where this is where the room where it happens.
Nice.
Or the restaurant where it happens.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it happened over dinner for sure.
Yeah.
That's so cool. All right, so what was
Um,
that? That was a 3,
yeah, that was a 3. Um,
and you put it in location
and
5. Got it.
mhm. And so I'm just going to call the restaurant Fine Living. Is what they go for, and then it's like their 5-star restaurant. And then and I feel like almost like the joke between the sort of corrupted folks is that it's like fine living for them, and
Sure, yeah.
not the other folks.
Sweet. All right.
And I'm done.
All right, so it's back to me, I think.
Mhm.
I want to put um I want to put a trendy shopping district along with the fashion, along with the fashion knockoff. I think that's because Diana, tell me if this sounds right to you, but I'm thinking that all the knockoff stores are the ones where like you need to know the password or you need to know like what's going on the curtain because there's a bunch of like regular shops that are like the fronts of it.
oh yeah, totally. Like there's a secret Facebook group where you have to figure out like it's speakeasy, like you either have to say a password or you have to have like a patch of fabric that means like
Yes.
you know what's going on.
Perfect, perfect. So the front for this is the trendy shopping district, and I think it's called the Fairmont, and which is also a name, but it's like a common enough name. It's like Broadway, right? Like we could still use it.
Mhm.
It's called the Fairmont, and I'm stealing directly from Vegas here, but it's I think something that that it's cool enough that I'm down with stealing it. It's got one of these so a lot of the streets in the Fairmont are for foot traffic only. Like it used to be car traffic, and they have stanchions up on the end so cars can't get in anymore. Motorcycles and cyclists sometimes come through anyway, but it's generally foot traffic. And above the street, there's these uh, giant LCD screens in a dome shape. And so as you're going through,
Mm-hmm.
you're kind of constantly like being bombarded with media. Sometimes it's music, sometimes it's ads. Like
Hmm.
it's kind of just all the time. Like, and it's also runs 24/7. So, or it runs as long as the shops are open at least. It runs late at night. So even when it's like late at night and it's dark out, if you're in the street part of it, if you're underneath the Fairmont Street, um, yeah, that's why it's called the Fairmont, is because it's on Fairmont Street. If you're on Fairmont Street at that time, you cannot tell if it's dark out because there's so much light coming above from the
Wow. Yeah,
from
yeah, yeah.
from from the screens.
The lights from the artificial sky. I love
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Nice. So it looks like only 3 is left
I
here.
I think.
The location 3, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yes, location 3.
All right.
And there's
Am
a
I up?
2, a 3, and a 6 left in the dice.
Okay.
Hmm?
All right. So this is the area that has like some vandalism, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Uh,
Wait, we should have more than that, right?
Well, we have multiple 2s, multiple 3s in us. We have,
Okay.
yeah,
Sorry.
just of the dice types that are available.
Right.
It's 2, 3, and 6.
okay. Uh,
We should have enough. Maybe we should pull the rest of them onto the bottom
Oh
oh
yeah,
yeah, we could do that.
I could do that. I'll
and
do
then
that
track them.
while
Okay.
you're
Okay.
thinking about it. I
Cool.
know,
Okay.
I know. I've been tracking on paper as well
Yeah.
what we have.
Yeah. And sorry I couldn't get a better one here. There, I've been working on a way to sort of track this a little better in the Roll20.
Uh, I think it's all, especially if we do this. I think it's all good because then if we'd done this in the beginning, we would totally have.
Oh yeah.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Yeah.
So everything at the bottom is what we have left right now.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna put can I pick up this? Cannot, but I can drag it from here, and then Sean can delete one.
Oh
Okay.
no.
I'll-
Yeah, I think this might be one of those games where you want to make us all GMs so that we can all move all
Oh yeah.
objects because otherwise
Yeah.
we can do that maybe
Yeah.
during the break. But
Yeah.
All right. All right. I'm gonna put for 3 respective b-boy / graph / MC crew hangout.
very cool.
Nice.
In the
Cool.
neighborhood that has that is known for vandalism so far.
Right. Sounds good. And we can. I mean, if you have some sort of concept for them now, and what is it? Is it just like a full on? Is it like one? Is it like b-boys or graph or MC, or is it just like a full?
I think it's everything, and that's one of the reasons why it happens there, because people want to you want to battle with like the graffiti mural in the background, or you want to battle someplace where there's like, if there's a DJ battle, there's like enough flat ground to put cardboard down and have people dance. So I think it's the location of, oh, you know what? It's an old playground, and it was like the most like high concept, elaborate playground in the city. But it was condemned for children because it wasn't up to code when they changed the laws about playgrounds.
Hmm.
So it's just like, it's all this like old like wooden structures and like giant unsafe slides where you go too fast and stuff. So kids aren't allowed to go there anymore, but of course adults do. So it's called now it's called the Battleground.
The
That is
battlegrounds. Okay,
exactly what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
Beautiful.
I was like,
I had. Sorry.
no, I was just like, would it be too campy to call it the Battlegrounds? Because I'm sure.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, and it's like,
Yeah.
you like, if you like on one side of it, there's like someone built like a Viking ship looking structure with like shields.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. My kids go to this place called Slide Hill Park, and it's known that way because there's this giant, huge cement slide. It's just a cement slab. That's it. There's no metal. There's no nothing. So it's going to be there, you know, after the apocalypse because it's this giant piece of cement, but you can't really slide down cement, so everyone does it on cardboard. I mean, you can, but it's rough going to go down cement, right? So everyone does it on cardboard,
Yeah.
and they all like, and so there's just like always all this cardboard around that's used for slides, right? And I
Yes.
love the notion of like there's some slides that people take the cardboard down, but then that cardboard also gets used to like dance on and like
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect. Awesome. Cool. So then we've taken our second trip where we've seen some of the landmarks of the city. And now our third trip is going to be us looking at some of our problems in each of the locations in the city. So same thing as before. Pick a die that corresponds to one of these issues here, and we place it there and talk about it. And we'll start with Diana.
Ooh, there's so many good options here. Give me a second.
Before we go in, is there anything on here that anybody would want to X card?
thank you for asking about that.
Yeah. And I am good with everything here. Myself.
Checking. I think I am good with any of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm good too.
I'm also cool.
Yeah.
Just wanted to ask.
It is of note that an infamously racist neighborhood, which was on the last list, I was looking at with much trepidation, and so it didn't come up, but retroactively I would have been like, it's not something I would have said I want to X card it, but I would have been like, cool, what do we mean and why, and let's talk it
Yeah.
out. But yeah, there's nothing on here.
Mhm.
Oh, Macklem 23, thank you for
Hey.
being subscribed. Your monies will go to good places.
So is it? Yeah. So is it number 5, the one that has the theater district?
Yes, yeah, location
Yes.
5 has the
Yep, and the fine living.
and the fine, yeah, and the is that what it's called? The fine living is the
Yeah,
restaurant?
it's
Nice.
called fine living, the restaurant.
Because
nice.
I'm thinking, like it feels like the criminals that are there that are doing like stuff at the diner or at the theaters, they're more high-end criminals. So I want to use 6 there for criminals controlling culture. So it's like, and feel free if this is like what you were kind of thinking of, Sean, to X card. Like, it's a very white cultural like control.
Mhm.
Like it should be a theater district where it's like, yeah, we could have like In the Heights playing or something like that, but no, it's all very like, they don't like, even like the actors that come like, nah, we like the the white version of Hamilton.
Oh
exactly.
yeah. I mean, I have
Yeah.
People who like Jersey Boys for the wrong reasons.
yeah.
Yeah.
I have no idea what Broadway theater houses are like, but I do know what performing arts houses are like, and who gets to play and what. Oh, so political. So yeah,
Yeah, so
that's
if the criminals are more like white collar, like high end, like
right.
Silicon Valley type criminals that are going to these, ooh la la, I'm fancy, I can go to the opera any day of the week,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, and they're making sure that they're controlling everything over here. I love that.
Let's play Vivaldi for the 445th time in a row, right? There's 4 seasons. There's all 4 of them, right? I mean,
What do you mean Lion King can't be set somewhere out of Africa? I don't understand the musical,
The Mikado is traditional, all right? We need those kimonos.
I'm gonna for a problem here, I'm gonna take a 3, and I'll put it actually on the 1. Yeah, put it down at problems. And for culture, I'm gonna do hostility to hip hop culture in the corruption, right? Like these same people who are over at the Fine Living also have day jobs. in sort of City Hall and kind of the central
Mm-hmm.
thing here, and so they sort of carry that hostility back, and then they enact those policies
Mm-hmm.
from here.
I mean that could be a central theme for the Red Veins gang, right? Like that's
Mm-hmm.
why they're there, because there is sort of the hostility to it, like that could be some a central point of friction.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Like, are we gonna push back against this, or are we gonna like set hip hop aside because we want
Yeah.
what these other crooks have?
Right, exactly. Cool. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Oh, if I can make a note, one of my favorite themes of sort of when I get to play Five Fires with people is like watching how the sort of like city like kind of like it starts like out as nothing, and then like by the end it's like you sort of like know what's going to happen in the neighborhoods, and like
Mm-hmm.
it becomes like super. By the third trip, it becomes like super easy, and I just sort of love that. So, anyways,
Yeah.
passing on.
I have a random question. With problems, can problems be duplicated? Like it's an encroaching problem, like certain neighborhoods would be having like the hostility to hip hop
Sure,
culture?
yeah, like yeah, you can double up. Like it could be a thing, as long as we're seeding each neighborhood, you could have like a certain problem popping up in other ones, and it would just, yeah, like you're saying, it would show that it's like a huge problem in the city.
Um, okay, yeah, I'm gonna create I'm gonna create an issue over in location two. I'm going to say that there is an institution or landmark closing.
Oh
So
no,
Sean, yeah.
is it the skate park,
Well, so my thought
or is it?
was it was something else, and that's what's causing everybody to converge on the skate park. So now there's a lot of
Okay.
new people at the skate park that haven't normally been there, and I think that's going to cause some issues with folks that are want to gatekeep it and say like you haven't been here before.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in location two. Um, so actually, no. Sorry, that was my first thought, but we've already made the skate park and it's precious and wonderful. So I actually like shutting it down because then I feel like that's a really good thing to sort of punch against. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
let's say it's a skate park, and I think it's the developers, right? All the urban development all folks in location one are like, oh yeah, that skate park has been ignored forever, but now it could become condos or whatever. Like I'm not sure exactly what it'll turn into, but I think the park has had enough incidents that it's basically being flagged as like the battlegrounds. It's kind of gonna get flagged as unsafe, but but it will actually be closed off as a way of making it cheaper to buy, etc. So yeah,
Cool.
I think our skate park is closing down,
Okay, yeah.
which makes me
All right.
cry. But
Am I up?
yeah, you're up.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna put for wealth. We're gonna put failing industry in the same district as the Fairmont number 4. And so what I was imagining was that so now this is like a manufacturing district, where there's like this fashion stuff going on, but it's going on against a backdrop of so there's all these ancient like regular straight up factories, like from the era when this was like a big industrial, like a manufacturing town, like maybe even like old shipyards or something like that. But I just like the idea of this like fancy shopping district, like in front, and then there's the dome over it. But if you zoom out past the dome, there's these massive like archaeological factories just empty, just
Hmm.
towering in the background.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think it was? Was it car manufacturing? Was it like fuel processing? What was the big like industrial work that was predominantly done there? Because usually it's like
Oh,
one industry that's really, really big, and there's tons of buildings for it.
it was shipbuilding.
Shipping, cool.
Yeah, and they it's just like they got completely outcompeted by Busan.
Nice. So is it like a water? Is there like is it land shipping like trucks, or was it water? Like, is there like
water shipping.
cool?
Like there's massive, again, like not what like maybe what counts as big if you haven't been to Busan.
Yeah, but that means there's docks. That means there's
Mhm.
you know there's
Exactly.
there's waterways going through it,
Yeah.
and
And
there's
maybe that's why they wanted to do the shopping. It's like, oh, is this riverfront shopping district?
yeah, dig it. Yeah,
But like the giant ancient factories are still there, and people are just like, yep, don't look at those. Look at the sky. Look
yeah.
at the fake sky.
All right. Cover up the view of being able to see them
Yeah.
with the fake sky.
And there might
Hey,
even
don't-
be like rusting tankers,
Yeah,
like
Ew,
just offshore.
okay.
yeah.
I love it.
The Mothball fleet is this old World War II fleet that has been right
Yeah.
off the coast of Benicia, and so like they finally moved them because they decided they were leaking crap. Well, they knew they were leaking crap, but they finally decided the crap they were leaking was bad enough. But I remember for years, like all through my childhood, every time I would drive down 680, I would just see like this giant fleet sitting out there, the Mothball fleet, and it just like seemed so cool. Like there was all these battleships, just like playing in there because they didn't know what the hell to do with them, and just left them to rust. And it was, yeah, it's I'm sad that they're gone, but it's good because they were a total toxic uh, dilemma, but they were cool to
Yeah.
look at. All right,
Awesome.
Diana, I think you have a 2 to
Yeah,
place.
you got the last. Yep.
So let's see. I think it's Urban Decay, and so it's being blamed on the battlegrounds. Like it's all these hip hop people coming in and just like, messing around. They don't do anything for the neighborhood, and that's why like shit's not being like taken care of. Because the city doesn't want to like, fix a lost cause.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it's easier to make it a lost cause if you help it lose.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me think
awesome.
of what was that
Okay,
show that was
keep
on Netflix that only had like one season? That had to do about like thinking about hip hop days.
The Get Down.
Yeah, the Get Down, like kind of like that.
Yeah.
Like
I haven't watched the end of it because I don't want it to be.
Neither
over.
have I, because
Yeah.
I'm terrible when I know a show's ending either because it's canceled or it's finished its run. I'm like the last couple episodes. I'm like, do I want to watch it? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just happy Warrior is coming back.
Yeah, just thinking that scene where the kids are like all in that rubble, just having fun and enjoying it, and then they're just causing problems to keep it all rubble.
Cool. Awesome. So this is not a trim. This is sort of the closing ceremony. We're gonna cut the ribbon on our city here by giving things names, right? We're looking by
Quinn, the names handout just popped up, but it's blank. You might have made it so
really.
that you might need to make everyone
I put
be able
it.
to edit
No,
it.
you know what I did, because I am so good. I dropped it in the second box in the GM notes.
Got it. That makes sense.
So, yeah. Hold on.
No problem. There we go. Got it.
Like magic.
Yeah. Cool. So now we're going to name some neighborhoods. So we're looking for the common names, not like the official names, but like if we were in the city, because we're going to be in the city, like how will we call? We're we're going to, what's downtown? Is it on Main or whatever, or Old Town or whatever, where the sort of names are going to be.
Yeah.
And we can just we'll start at 1 and just go in order. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We can. I'll start, and then and everybody can get input on it. And we'll go from there. So I kind of like I do sort of like the center being in this case being called like Old Town, right? It's kind of like I feel like the city kind of grew around it,
Yeah.
and it's still like the nucleus.
Right. It's
Yeah,
where
I
where
like
the
the
money
simple
is.
iconic names. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I picked the wrong font. Okay. Old Town.
Nice.
And Sean, you want
Location 2, so the visuals that I had for location 2 was that the skate park and whatnot was under like an overpasses. And
Ooh, nice.
if I am if I'm like thinking of like the camera zooming out, I'm just imagining like a bunch of bridges or overpasses or whatnot that kind of like that cut through the area. And so I'm thinking something like the streaks or the rows or the lines or something like that. That's like it's like the image that you have if you're looking down and you just see all of these like
The
freeway.
rays
Yeah, like
going
rays,
across.
exactly, something like that. I like the rays. I think that's cool. And it like you basically get that view if you're like on a bridge far away or something. Like if you're coming into it, if you're coming down, you like look down, you see all the in the Bay Area we have the maze, and that's a place where like all these freeways just smack into each other in these stupid ways, and that you're
Right
go
when you get off the Bay Bridge.
yeah,
There,
exactly.
yeah,
And it's just
yeah.
like 980, 24, 880, 101, like
You
not
got like
101.
5 seconds to get into the right lane.
Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking is like at some point you're coming down and you look down and you see the rays and they're just like
Mm.
all of these streets like these overpass streets that are all sort of lined up. So yeah, let's call it the rays.
Yeah, like the rays, like high,
No,
not like like
RAYS,
the.
like pew pew
Oh right, okay,
pew.
yeah, yeah, okay, nice. Okay.
I was thinking sunrays, but yeah, pew pew pews work.
Yeah. Or sun rays. That's yeah. The sun rays is probably the aesthetic someone was going for, but you know.
Awesome. Ninjas on 3. Place where the
So I think,
battlegrounds is.
yeah, I think this is the. I think this was supposed to be like a planned suburb that was supposed to like look real pretty, and things did not work out for one reason or another. So I think this is like Ghost Gardens. And it used to it was supposed to have some like really pretty name, like, you know, Forest Gardens or something like that,
But it's just like the playground that's now the battleground, right? Like they kept the
right.
end. It's still the
It was
gardens,
forest.
but
It was Forest Gardens, but someone graffitied it to Ghost Gardens.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Deanna, number 4.
So yeah, I think it's one of those other places that like a trendy name. It's like kind of not saying it'll be Little Italy, but something like Little Italy or like, you know, like because that's where the fashion is and everything. So what's the one? I mean, I think it is Italian. What's the one city they always talk about when it comes to, like to the fashion? Milan, right?
Milan, yeah. Milan.
Yeah. So like, it's like called New Milan.
Okay. Awesome. And then it circles to me here last.
That's cool because I think Milan is also like a historical like manufacturing manufacturing town.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it works with like the failing
industry.
industry. Yeah.
Nice.
So I feel like this part of the city, besides being like a concentration of sort of like a decent concentration of like wealth and stuff, like where the sort of upper half lives, like literally kind of is like one of the highest points of the city.
Mm-hmm.
So like kind of like, one of the things when they're, selling these $1 million condos, they're like, look, you can look down on the city and all this stuff. So I'm thinking like Nandon Heights.
I dig it.
And we're like Nandon, and where Nandon is sort of like one of the sort of original like developers who sort of built that and sort of got people here. Awesome. And then the last thing, and then we can sort of all just sort of brainstorm on this, is the name of our city. If it's going to stress us out too much, or we can't come up with something, we're allowed to just ship it and call it the city and move on. But if something like comes to us and speaks to us, and similar to the city, we're not like coming up with a, it's not, New Jersey. It's Brick City, right? It's Chicago's the Windy City, right? Like we're coming up with this nickname.
I think if my thought based off of the failing industry is that it could be like River City, because that's like what it used to be. That's what it came from was the shipping that came in and out of it. So that's I'm not attached to it, but that's like an old landmark or an old ocean.
I just keep thinking of the video game.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking of that too, but I that's also a kind of thing that I like about it, and also I like kind of simple sometimes. So like I like the kind of like, it hits it, and then we're not trying to get too fancy with it. Like I like River City myself. Does anybody have any other thoughts though?
I want to be cheeky and be like City by the Bay for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I was gonna say we could do other things referencing the waterfront, City by the Bay, right? Yeah, like I think any of those are cool.
I kind of like Water City.
Cool.
I can go with that. Yeah.
Because it's like it's a word that seems it doesn't sound like glamorous. And I think it speaks to like both the river and the bay.
Yeah, like, and it could also work with the whole like the failing shipping thing, like because it's going underwater, like the allusions to that.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
So this game is called Water City Flow, right?
Awesome. So cool. Then the next thing is crew creation. Do we want to take a few minute break here?
Yeah, that's perfect. Let's take a break here. So everybody, thanks for hanging out with us while we made Water City, and we're gonna be back in a few minutes. So stretch, grab some water, and we'll see you in a sec.